Welcome back to the channel, guys, and we're off on a ferry trip to
La Gomera,
and it's all been booked through Jet2 Holidays, and here's our boarding pass. However, we have no clue if we're on the right ferry. So guys, we've boarded the ferry, and one thing to note, Caroline is travel sick and seasick, so she's not looking forward to this journey. It's about an hour, so we'll see how we get on. Anyway, I'm going to go and have a coffee. Are you finding it, Kaz?
yeah, it's alright.
Got some speed up now, hasn't it?
Yeah. Some water on.
Yeah. So we have done the first part of our journey, so we've just got off the ferry and we'll just see how Caroline's feeling after that.
Yeah, not too bad.
Almost no comment there. So now we get a coach to the next part, and we have arrived. Now I would say this, I pronounce this as Gomero, La Gomera. There we go. So guys, we're on the coach for the second part of the trip.
We are, yes.
And Caroline suffers with motion sickness, so coaches and ferries aren't...
Yeah, my stomach's not good. It's why I opted for a fish meal.
Yeah, so part of this excursion we get a
free lunch.
Free lunch.
Well, not free lunch because obviously we paid for it.
Yeah, so all part of the
excursion.
The tour and the excursion, so really good. Ferry crossing wasn't too bad, so the sea wasn't too choppy really, and it went at a decent speed, didn't it?
Yeah.
So on the ferry I bought 2 bottles of water, a small espresso and a packet of plain crisps, and that came to just over €7, which I thought was cheap as chips.
Yes, good price.
Good price. So we're going to go on this tour. We're going to a village, aren't we?
Yes, we're going to a village where we're going to have lunch.
Yeah. So how do you pronounce it? The island?
La Gomera.
Yeah. Gomera. Gomera. And it's
La Gomera.
And on the way we'll make also the panoramic stop. In the village of Ermigua we'll visit the ecological plantation of Aloe Vera. Always I promise that from this point we have to live more prettier, more handsome.
So we've done a stop off, and the area we stopped off on the island is bananas.
Yeah, and Aloe Vera.
Yeah. So we've come to a little Aloe Vera spot, farm, I don't know what it's called. But just see the mountain range behind us. We've just been all through those.
At the factory, we use machines, okay? But it doesn't exist special machines for aloe vera. I will show you photos later. Now we can see the famous gel. This is what we can use for skin. For example, if you have sunburn, very famous. But you can use it on wounds.
Just try some aloe vera.
And now we go inside. There, if you want to see the photos of the factory, because actually the factory is on Gran Canaria. Okay, this is just our smallest plantation. There you see the machines that we use, for example, to peel it.
Well, we've got to our last destination. How are you feeling, Kaz?
Not too bad, but I'm through the dinner.
Yeah, it's the roads are very windy, mountainous, and it's blooming freezing. Absolutely freezing.
Sveiki atvykę į Gomerą. Добрый день. Добро пожаловать на остров Ла Гомера. So, listen carefully. A bottle of mineral water, sparkling water, or without gas. Butelis mineralinio vandens.
So guys, we've come to this restaurant bar toilet area, and what you're hearing, or what you've just heard, is the native whistle language, official language of these islands, and basically the indigenous people, how they communicated living in the mountains was via whistle, because shouting, speaking loud only carries your voice so far, where whistling goes over 6 kilometres and can still be understandable. So part of the indigenous, to keep the indigenous language alive, it is actually part of the school curriculum that they have to learn, school children do, this whistle language. It's really interesting. What is also interesting about this island is the island sprang up in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, and while Europe went through an ice age, this particular island didn't. Plants in Europe before the ice age were different to what they are now, and when photosynthesis could start again, once the planet warmed up, the plants in main Europe changed, and on this island they didn't, and there's still over 60 species of plants on this island that are from before the ice age. And one of the examples is the dandelion. Here it can grow several metres high, as where in, say, England, it's a little weed, which is really interesting. The island itself has got no indigenous nasty creatures like ticks, poisonous spiders, snakes, anything like that, anything that will harm you. It's been cut off for the rest of the world, really. And you should hear the whistling language of the indigenous population. So as you can see, the low cloud there, and that really makes the temperature drop. And as Caroline said, it's a bit like sea fog or sea fret as we know it in Bridlington.
Yeah, plummets your temperatures.
Yeah. But that said, the scenery is stunning. Absolutely stunning. And it's untouched by time, really, isn't it?
Yeah. He said it's all that you see is pre-ice age.
Yeah.
So it's been here before the ice age.
Yeah. And the plants are as they were, didn't need to mutate and evolve to the new climate. And this is how the climate's been. So just look at that cloud drop there. See.
Yeah.
Right guys, we finished the tour. We're in St. Sebastian,
Yes, we are.
which is the capital and main port for this island. We've done the tour. Now it cost us €105 each, so 210 in total for both of us. And let's go through the positives. For the price, you got the ferry journey, you got the coach transfers, you got the tour, and you got a free, well, not free, it included a lunch. Now the downsides: if you are travel sick like Caroline, this is not the trip for you. What wasn't described to us by the Jet2 rep was the fact you're going up in the mountains and it's all snake
roads. Oh god.
And the tour guide did actually say that they have on previous trips had a few people throw up not very well. The food itself, where we went, the restaurant, a lot of the cutlery and the plates were not very
grimy.
A bit grimy, not very clean, and the glasses certainly weren't clean. The food was okay.
Mine wasn't. Mine was lukewarm.
Yeah, it wasn't the best. I would have been disappointed if I'd have gone there. I took Caroline there for a meal. It wouldn't have been good. Some of the feedback off some of the people. The tour guide, first of all, he was absolutely spot
He's
on.
brilliant.
Spoke 6 languages. knew his information. He wasn't reading off crib sheets or anything like that. He was just absolutely spot on. But is it worth 105 euros each? And I would say no. Kaz? No. So overall, based to be on scores on the doors,
7 out of 10.
and that's generous considering you haven't been very well. Yeah, you haven't been very well. I'm going to give it.
Because it's not their fault.
No.
They didn't, they didn't know I was travel sick. We did say I was travel sick. So when we said about going to La Gomera, we thought we would get off the ferry and then just be left to our devices. And I thought, I can just about do that. I didn't know there was going to be this really long snake path road going up in a coach. Absolutely diabolical.
The scenery is stunning.
Oh, it is stunning. Don't get
so
wrong.
For the tour itself and the price, I'm going to give it 6 out of 10 because it wasn't just quite worth the money for me, but there was some really good positive points, and the tour guide was fantastic. What was his name? Getty. So brilliant, and for that I'll give it a 6. Caroline's give it
I'll give it a generous 7.
A 7. So
only because I got a lukewarm meal and we weren't pre-warned about the coach travel.
So that's our Jet2 excursion. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, it's absolutely free. Please give it a thumbs up.
And as you can tell, it's a smidgy bit windy.
Yes, so we're going to be heading back to Tenerife and enjoy our last day in a bit before we go back home.
Yes.
So we'll see you on the next one. Try a bit.
Try a bit.